Paul, just to start with the injury situation, what is the latest going into this game?
Yeah, some good news regarding George and Bill, and so they'll be fine. And bad news regarding Ollie Mack, it looks like. So he's got ligament damage and some fractures within bones in his foot, which is really unstable. So we'll look further into that to see if it needs surgery or if it's going to just be, treated conservatively. But then it's still going to be a matter of months rather than weeks. So yeah, so it's a blow. It's a blow for us, obviously, but it's a blow for Ollie. Like, the bits that people haven't seen is the work we've been doing with him and how hard he's been working, and he's had a couple of obviously illnesses and knocks that's set him back, and now we don't get to use him.
Can you quite believe the fortune that you and your players have had over the last few weeks with injuries?
Yeah, it's one of them things. It's one of them things. We've just got to deal with it and get going. So, like I say, we've been managing Bill in the background all the way through. He's joined in today, so that's the good news, I suppose. But yeah, personally for Ollie, it's a tough one. And like I said, when you're looking at the running and where we're trying to go and what we're trying to get to, and we need big players. We need as many players fit and available. And yeah, that's 3 of us forwards sort of writ off for the season.
What is it like as a manager, though? Because I suspect, with the injured lads, you've got to manage them in a way because they'll be disappointed. You've got to keep things going as well. Get a team out there that can go and win your games to get into the playoffs. It's tough.
Yeah, but it's opportunities for people. I know we say it, but it really is. And it's someone step up and be a hero. And people's careers have been made off the back of opportunities. And that's how I see it, honestly. So all the work then with injured players is behind the scenes with us, and obviously the medical team and the sports science team. I think every player has played the part at some point in our turnaround in fortunes, if you like, and everyone's just as important to others. But it's pointless moaning about what we've not got. We've got some good players, and we've got, like I say, some real good games in front of us. So that's all the focus can be. Otherwise, you're negative, and it's an opportunity for people. And like I say, someone can go and be a real hero.
You mentioned Billy's okay now. So is he in a strong enough position whereby he could start a game and get straight back into it, or are you going to have to manage him a bit still?
I think sensible thing would be to manage him just in terms of minutes, rather he's not going to churn out 90s straight away. I think he's fit enough to, but obviously when it's muscle injuries you're more concerned when players are coming back, and obviously with the news of Ollie Mack it makes it that even more important that we keep him fit and we get the best out of him between now and the end of the season.
And it's stating the obvious to say it's a huge boost to have Billy Sharp back, but aside from the obvious, the goals, what does having him back bring to the team otherwise than just the goals?
Yeah, he's an important player for us off and on the pitch, in my opinion, and what him about, the experienced boys about, we've been here before. Even the injured boys, like, it's a big role to play in the environment and mood, and not one of them's been selfish, if you like, and coming here down and in the dumps. I think they've still enjoyed the fact of being around the players and being in and around the place, and that adds to the mood, what we're trying to create here. We still push people on, so that's a big part of Bill's role. But the big thing for me is having him fit and available for his goals, his impact on the pitch. You look round then and it's an extra player, an extra body, so that obviously then changes your substitutions as well and things like that. No disrespect, but when we had Jebbo and Will we had 2 players who weren't number 9s playing, did great, and then we've got 2 18-year-olds as the next in line, and as I said, it's big opportunities, but for me, I'd rather have them all fit, and I know you're going to be leaving people out, but at least then you've got big impacts from the bench and everyone's chomping and fighting and no one's just getting an opportunity because the next in line, it's because they've fought past someone else, and that's the hunger that we want.
You said after Easter you'd probably have a decent idea of what it's going to take to get into the playoffs. Has it provided any further clarity? I mean, the situation hasn't really changed that much, has it?
Not everyone's been doing the same sort of thing, winning and losing. I think all it's given us is if we win our games we're fine, and that's got to be our approach. And until that changes, that is his mindset. But one game at a time. We've got a Cardiff team who can be dangerous in terms of, there's 2 things probably. They're trying to change the way they're playing, and now they've got the freedom to do that. So I think it's that freedom that is going to pose us problems, but also that we want to try and exploit that, as well, and try and make it a game where we look like the team with, more at stake. But it's easier said than done. We can speak about this all day long, but this stage of the season is really strange. Whether teams fighting for points to get promoted, fighting for points to stay up. There's also an anxiousness within that, and then the teams who haven't got that and have just got freedom to go and play and express themselves can be equally just as dangerous in a different way. So we're not treating it any other way than another tough game, and one that we want to win.
In a way, is it tougher for the teams who are trying to win promotion, get into the playoffs, than perhaps teams who are just trying to fight and scrap and get a result because they've maybe got feeling at this point we've got nothing to lose, just go for it? I don't know.
No, I'd rather be in our shoes, not just because of the position in the league, but that feeling. That's what it's about. I've experienced both, and yeah, it should matter. Every game should matter, and we've still got that. And whether as a group of players, when you're not, you're maybe mid-table, and it's just positions. Regardless how hungry and how driven you are as a staff and players, there's still a different feel about the place, whether that's questions from media, fans, the games. Everything's got a different feel, and with us still having things we want to achieve, we've still got that edge to everything that we do, which is great, and that's how we want to feel.
Does anything surprise you about this division? Look, Huddersfield and Luton have done really well, fantastic seasons, but nobody would have expected them necessarily to be where they are. They've had a degree of consistency which has put them where they are, and some of the more fancied teams, for whatever reason, they've just not been able to put that consistent run together right now.
It's a tough league. It's a relentless league. Speak to someone, an ex-player of mine, the other day about it, and saying that their club, just a lot have not experienced how tough it is. 46 games and the relentless nature of it. It is a unique league for lots of different reasons, and you've got to respect it. And I think if you speak about Luton and Huddersfield in particular, they've got a real way that they've found to play, and they're comfortable, and they're just in a good place at the time where they've got that hunger and drive to not be embarrassed to be a team who has to win without the ball and be really, but they've also got good players within it who can go and score goals, and they can be dangerous. So that's why they're up there. They've got a good balance and a real hunger about how they want to play, and generally that's what you need to be successful in this league.
How much does it help that two of your final three are at Bramall Lane?
Yeah, we take that, obviously. Like I said, if you look back a few months ago, we'd snap people's hands off for this position. In our hands, in the top 6, 3 games to go. Yeah, probably people wouldn't have believed it, and so we're pleased where we are. But like I say, there's an edge to everything we do now. It's an exciting time. It matters. It's tough. It's intense. But that's just because of where you want to get to and what you want at the end. We still want to be in the mix, come the end of the season, these next 3 games.
What kind of questions will Cardiff ask of you, do you think?
Well, I think, like I said, the way they've changed how they want to play, in terms of they've still got a threat if they want to be direct, because they were very much, people thought of them as that type of team, back to front. Tough. They scored the most headed goals by a long, long way, when we played them away. Set plays. And they've still got that, with Hugo in the team, Pisa in the team, in terms of they've got that outlet, they want to go long. But they've picked a lot more players with energy and footballers, if you like, around that. So they are trying to play a little bit more from the back and pass the ball a bit more. And like I said, they've sort of earned the right to have that freedom to go and do that. So they're, in that respect, they're really dangerous, because like they're playing with the freedom to go and express themselves and try and build and impress for next season.
And a final question I have to ask you about this. There's been a lot of speculation about takeovers and stuff at this football club, and I'm sure your focus is on the pitch right now. But do you speak regularly to the current owners? Do they keep you abreast of whatever is going on with this football club? Is that a regular conversation that you have with them?
We speak every week. Myself and Yusuf, the chairman, we speak all the time. In terms of takeover, no, that's not my business. So we say my focus is on these games, ultimately Cardiff and the players, that's it. And there's nothing I can do to affect it. There's no information I can give you because I don't know anything. And it'll just be a distraction anyway for me and the players. So no, it's Saturday, it's the most important, and then after that we'll see QPR and move on from them.